Njenje TV, setting the pace. Join the journey, it's a vibrant ride. Njenje TV, we stand with pride. Njenje TV, where the world aligns. African stories and catchy designs. News and entertainment at your fingertips. With the pulse of the people, stay true to our clips. Subscribe today, don't miss a beat. With Njenje, your life feels sweet. Njenje TV, where the world aligns. African stories and catchy designs. News and entertainment at your fingertips. With the pulse of the people, stay true to our clips. Stay tuned to our clips. So subscribe today, don't miss a beat. With Njenje, your life feels sweet. In the heart of the city where stories unfold, Njenje TV shining bright and bold, bringing news from the corners of the globe, connects us together, no matter the road. Watch rise, hear the voices roar, unity and diversity, together we soar. Njenje TV, where the world aligns. African stories and catchy designs. News and entertainment at your fingertips. With the pulse of the people, stay tuned to our clips. From entertainment to the news that's real, showcasing our culture, that's the deal. Diaspora dreams in a vibrant space. Njenje TV, setting the pace. Join the journey, it's a vibrant ride. Njenje TV, we stand with pride. Njenje TV, where the world aligns. African stories and catchy designs. News and entertainment at your fingertips. With the pulse of the people, stay true to our clips. Start today, don't miss a beat. With Njenje, your life feels sweet. Njenje TV, where the world aligns. African stories and catchy designs. News and entertainment at your fingertips. With the pulse of the people, stay true to our clips. To our clips. Stay tuned to our clips. So subscribe today, don't miss a beat. With Njenje, your life feels sweet. In the heart of the city where stories unfold, Njenje TV shining bright and bold, bringing news from the corners of the globe.
So good evening everyone, My name is Mazes, okay? This is the second part of the segment. I know many of you are joining me. Please, let's have a conversation as I had promised us. I believe you can hear me loud and very clear. So this evening, I will try as much as possible to explore what has been happening. Hence, the title of this broadcast this evening is called The Genesis of Threatening TikTok Videos on Ethnic Buying in Nigerian Social Media Space. So what that means, in essence, is that we will endeavor to try everything possible to look at these issues dispassionately. Now, how did this started? So if my internet is lagging in any way, shape, or form, please be rest assured that as from tomorrow, I hope it's not going to continue because I'm moving my services into a fiber optic cable services. So it's not going to be this one. So hopefully today will be the last day my internet will lag. But I hope you can hear me loud and clear. I know many of you are joining me. I can see Gladys Onyebo, uh, Austin Okpara, John, and many of you are joining me from the United States of America. Wherever you are, irrespective of where you are joining me from, I say good evening to you. Ndewo, Ekaro, Ekabo, Ranka Dede, Inakwana, Toba Gejiani, Tomutani, eh? Uh, I'd say Lafia Kalao. Then I say to my friends across the Bundesländern, I say schon guten Abend zu uns alle. Ich hoffe, euch geht's gut. Mir geht's wunderbar. Man muss einiges noch irgendwie, wir müssen über die Sachen reden. So, like I said, thank you once more for joining me. I am Moses. Okay, please, 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 please join this conversation. Join this conversation. You can see in the comment section, you will see a pinned message. In case at some point you may wish to join me, you will be free to click on the pinned message and join me here. Right? So thank you. So let's start. Can someone please confirm that you can hear me loud and clear? Please, can someone confirm that you can hear me loud and clear? Okay. Yeah, I can thank you. I can see that you can hear me loud and clear. So let's go ahead and look at this thing. I know that some of you watching me may be offended by the things I will say today, but hey, my job here is to say things not just for saying sake, but to situate things the way they are, to give us timelines as to the things that had happened before now and the way and why I believe we are where we are because certain things didn't happen. I read comments from a previous video I did before, and some of you are saying that I was being political correct, that I didn't call out certain individuals or certain tribe or whatever. Now, you see, in communication, one thing many of you haven't learned: go and watch a video when um, there is this evil guy on Facebook that attacks the church. I think it's called I think Matthias. Yeah, Matthias. Can't remember the last name. He ran into trouble. He's very passionate in the things he said. He ran into trouble. He was taken to Abuja, and while he was taken to Abuja, I don't know, somehow he got in touch with Mike Ozokome SA. And Mike Ozokome, when he uh, ensured that he got bail, was advising him. And I watched that video with keen interest, which aligns with my training. You know, many years ago, over 2 decades ago, trained as a journalist. If you don't know that, I can tell you that for free. But Mike Ezokome said to Matthias that for you not to be sued, not everything that you uh, know that you put them out that way, because if you do, you may be liable for libel, but you can use innuendos because obviously you are speaking to adults, and there is an African adage that says that as adults you can use your tongue to count your teeth and know how many there are. So what am I saying? I would keep on, in my worldview, the things I consider to be factual and truth. I'll keep on speaking about them without mincing words. However, it is not my call to give verdict. My job is to lay the facts before everyone, among my friends, among my foes, my enemies. It doesn't matter whose org is God. So I repeat again, this evening for this broadcast, many of you may not like it, but hey, but the truth must be said at all costs. So let me kickstart and let me start with the following. Now, how did we get to where we are? That you will wake up and all you hear is Nigerians buying Nigerians, or rather, Nigerians threatening to buy fellow Nigerians, whether to poison them or whether to threaten to poison them. You know, it's um, it's really, really very terrible thing. Now, let's backtrack. There was an election in 2023. Now, I'm giving us the genesis of the current wave of madness and mess that we are in. There was an election in 2023. In that election, you know, certain political elements made some ethnic law that wasn't necessary. And when certain individuals began to call out, say, oh, come out, uh, come on, these things you said is not correct. And rather for them to take correction and say, I apologize for the things I've said and let us all move on. The individuals began to say, no, we stand by what we say, and we even say that further. I'll give us an example. In the wake of the election 2023, a man called Bayo Onanuga, who um, is now being rewarded with the senior special assistant on strategic communication, was quoted as saying that it is the last time that Ndi Igbo would interfere in the politics of Lagos. Now, not Ndi Igbo that came from Anambra vote or from Kaduna to vote, rather, Nigerians who live in Lagos, pay taxes in Lagos, go to school in Lagos, do their businesses in Lagos, own properties in Lagos. They were not imported, right? They were not imported. Pay attention to that. They were not imported. If individuals were not imported to come into Lagos to vote, why would you then address them in that manner? And some people so I think now, like what I was saying, if we go back to that in that election time, you begin to understand that something happened. People cried out, and rather than the person who had done that to come back and say, oh, okay, I'm sorry for doing this, no, that didn't happen, right? He actually came out to say, no, I have no apologies for doing so. Let me quickly bring up these things, because what I'm going to be doing this evening is to speak factual and speak with fact as some of these things are concerned, right? Now, let me show us this. This was before after the 2023 election, when people started calling out Bayo Onanuga. You can see that the election was on the 24th of February, and Bayo made that that statement after that election. And on the 18th, he came out to say that I owe no apology for my ethnic law against Igbos. They are threats to Yorubas by Ononuga. Now, you see, reason why I'm saying this is if someone at that level could actually say something like this and stood by it, and afterwards was rewarded for the nonsense he spewed, and was rewarded with strategy, SSA on strategic communication. It means there is something intentional happening. And I do not mean to word this. I mean every single word of it, that there is something intentional happening here. Okay, now fast forward. Young Nigerians across board, across the spectrum, north, east, west, and you know, uh, south, organized a protest. In that protest, they talked about how they can, that they are hungry, what they can do, XYZ. Suddenly, the things went out of hand, right? Things went out of hand. Some Nigerians began to say, oh, this protest was being planned by Ndebo, blah, blah, blah. The same Bayo Ononuga went ahead to say that these was actually uh, being sponsored by P2B, Patrick Utomi, Professor Patrick Utomi, and so many others. Whereas Patrick Utomi has slammed Bayo Ononuga a 500 billion naira suit. Where are we heading with this? Because Bayo Ononuga was not punished, other younger Nigerians saw that as an avenue that they can do things and get away with it, which is very, very terrible, which is very, very bad, right? Fast forward, in prior to that protest, President Tinubu began to assemble all, began to assemble a lot of traditional rulers to say, go back and speak to your people, not to protest. Some imam, including Obi of Onitsha, you know, many traditional rulers came, and they went back and said, please, please, please postpone the protest. If you go to Twitter, so many young Nigerians disagreed, including with the emir, including with the traditional rulers from the south, including the Oba of Benin. He said, His Royal Majesty, we don't agree with you, we are hungry. But suddenly, certain people began to twist this narrative. Twitter and TikTok, it's a platform that there are so many uncut individuals there. I do not know, but maybe someone out of them saying, no, 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 make una no chook mouth, una no gonna start this protest for us. Maybe somebody said something. I do not know. But I'm trying to tell us the genesis of it. And suddenly, if you go to TikTok, because the thing now began an issue within TikTok that they will open a TikTok, conversation, and it is now Yoruba, Bini against Igbo, and Igbo will open their own against Bini and the Yoruba. It kept on going. It kept on going. In all these things, the following conversation took place.
Alternate.
I am playing all these things for those of you who may be confused as to what is happening. And hence, I took my time to say, let me actually do this video to explain to us one or two things. Anyway, before I actually start, in the midst of that confusion, in the midst of this in the midst of these confusion, there is this guy. Before I even go to that, there is this guy. I don't know his name, but he's on where's the other one? Instagram, making videos. He actually complained, saying, "Why this talk about every time people, every time people, every time people? They didn't want to protest. They didn't do this. They didn't do so. Why do everybody keep blaming?" So listen.
Wetin Igbo people do now? Wetin Igbo people do now? I don't tire. You guys want to protest for bad governance, hardship. You don't start tribalism. Just leave Igbo people alone. They are not even protesting because they don't want you guys to turn them to scapegoats. One of the smartest moves they made. Because if they start to protest now, then they're going to kill. Just leave Igbo people alone, please. I didn't want to get involved in all this. Leave Igbo people alone, please.
So he made this video before the protest, when these conversations were all going back and forth, right? In one of the conversations, now listen to this. In one of the conversations, because we must also know when we want to blame, we know where the blames are going to. Listen to this one.
The reason why I'm back here again, I diverse about everything when they happen like this. So because those people not get one fucking right to talk to us anyhow. Since the fish say they get the power or they get the right, no let them know say we be Benin people. We know what we sabi do, no do unto them. But I dey put this thing now and make our people both home and abroad the year on. Maybe say anywhere they for see their children, unalive them.
If you don't know what unalive is by them. So these were things that were happening as a result of that, the fallout of the protest, and the perceived disregard and insult to the Oba of Benin, right? A throne that many of us, including myself, revered so much because it's a traditional, first-class traditional monarch that must and should be respected, right? Now, and such conversation began to happen, right? And people, across board, the other ones who open TikTok, the other ones who open TikTok, but listen to more conversation.
May them know say we dey serious. May they unalive them. May them know say this thing a serious thing. May them know say we don't dey exist before they come in. Not be Benin Empire now. Empire they call and they not say Benin. They not say Edo State. Now Benin Empire. You not get right to the talk to us anyhow. Anywhere you see their children, unalive them.
1995 the Kpaing.
Okay, so that's one. That's a different room open for that. Then there was another one.
Before Irie Doniru way, if you go to still Lagos, now still the same thing. Now it be. These people are parasite. And one thing where Edo people don't know, and we don't. Now Igbo people now they take fight us.
Okay.
Yes, now. Yes.
Now Igbo people now loot Benin, now rape our woman. Now they take fight us with they carry. So that is why I dey tell una now. Make we begin to show them. We may yet do it tie. Uga muja you a train. Una mi we go kote. Tiola pane. Ima can via ya yiga. Imana mi ana so na mi be osra. Kingsley. Wale check una.
Now he's also like the other woman. He's also bragging that he's in Austria, and he called his name Kingsley, right?
2017, the person who sees the Afla flag for stadium, and me do one, we go court, and I defeat them. One Mariah squad making any party where go there, they see me enter there because they don't say I go run them enter them, and they don't give me food now where I go take run enter them. Edo community dey do our 31st anniversary. Me ya de poison ne. A managing and akwe sef. I will ya zien you like. I go teach them lesson.
So those of you in Austria, what he was saying that in this case, that on the 31st, Edo community is having an event on the 31st. That when those Igbos will come, they would unalive them through the food they will serve. You know, listening to this, it really got me. It really got me. Because it really got me because if I listen to the other one from Canada, you know, I keep saying some of you that will say, yeah, you know, why are you political? Why don't you say this, the other one? How do you feel, irrespective of your tribe, to actually give them hold on. Whether it was the first one, the second one, then comes the third one. And the third one is the one as a result of what the first and second has done or had said. The one in Canada, the woman in question. Now, for those who have not listened to this, said the following.
Time to start poisoning the Yoruba and the Benin. Put poison for.
You know, I have shivers in my spine listening to this. You know, I ask myself, where is our humanity? Some may argue that she was triggered by what the previous people that have said before now. Hence, she's come up to say this. But I say, listen, patience and self-control is a virtue. No one remembers that something triggered her and she began to say this. I say she's as guilty as those that triggered her. She should not have made such comments. This act, this commentary that she made is condemnable. The same way those that said that you will honor life in the Igbo, that you poison them on the 31st, which is next in 2 days' time on a Saturday, that you're going to buy them in Austria when Edo people have their event, is also wrong. So the question is, why were those that said these things before her, why were nothing happening? Even before, let's even go here. Let's even, let's, because this evening, people, I said some of you may not like my approach this. Oh, because listen, I left in 2002. I left Clubhouse because the things I was, every day you hear things. Then was Fulani. Every day, for the good of your mental health. I had to install Clubhouse application on my phone because it was just getting too much hatred being spewed across the spectrum, right? Here is another individual who says, we are expecting your words. All Igbos, Abuja, Lagos, Kaduna, Ibadan. Say, we kill them all before we progress. That Biafra land, my wife is from Imo State, and I will kill her first. I do not know what would trigger somebody to type this thing, read it again, make corrections, read it again, then click send. It's the same thing that people would sit back, listen. Honestly, I don't know how to beg us. Please, the whole Social media space is becoming too toxic. It's becoming too toxic. Nothing, if not on one hand, nyash, 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 nyash. The other hand, bike, bike, bike. Come on, people. Is that actually what other nations and people use internet and social media to do? Can't we have better things? Even those in government, we must make sure that Igbos leave Lagos. We must make sure that Hausas live Onitsha. We must make sure that Igbos live Benin. Haba, you and I have only 6 feet. No matter how you struggle, how you hate, you only have 6 feet. No matter how you hate, you only have you can't go with the place you are even fighting for. This earth has been millions of years before we existed here. Why so much hatred? Why? This is what led to Rwandan genocide. When human beings were not acknowledged or addressed as human, they were addressed in third person thinking, or were addressed in abstract. Oh, cockroach, mosquito, all form of silly things that happen, right? Honestly, it, it beats me and it hurts. To be honest with you, people, it hurts. I couldn't listen to some of these videos even longer. Like I said before, some of these things, one for the first time that I had to go join in one of the TikTok, listen to talk to them. And after speaking to them, you can now see that they actually appreciated the fact that I came. Some of them said they knew me, they did, so they actually appreciated the fact that I came up to speak to them. So now, tell me, how do you explain something like this? This was before the election. Sorry, this was after the election. Let's kill all the evil. Let's flush them out of Yoruba land. I hate these people with a passion. They are violent people. They are worse. They hate us. Let us hate them with all. I mean, I'm like, where is this hate coming from? You are a resident of Lagos State. The Nigerian law says that you vote where you reside. When census come, you are not allowed to go to your place of origin. You are counted where you reside. When you work, you pay tax where you reside and do your business. Your child go to nursery school, primary school where you reside. University to a place of his or her choice. You do your business and you pay your taxes where you reside. How come that it comes to a time of election, you decide to elect Mr. A and everybody hates you? Yet Mr. A is not your kinsman. It's not to you. Has no blood relation with you. No, I want you to vote Mr. B. No, where has choice gone to? Why the hate that you lost Lagos? They didn't even make you lose Lagos. No. The people that made P2B win Lagos were not Igbos. They were majority of the Yoruba people who on their own made their choice. But why would you then go and transfer your, I don't know, whatever it is, to a different people just as scapegoat and gaslight them? This is unhealthy. Honestly, this is unhealthy. We can read, kill them, do this, do the other one. It's unhealthy, people. It's unhealthy, right?
In 2015, everything changed because Nigerians elected, in quotation marks, a man that had, again, I say it again, a different worldview, and went back to the pre-1966 disposition and mentality of things. And that position was that Igbos cannot be trusted. Igbos have no rights. Igbos are members of he called them 5%, I believe, that didn't vote for him. And his mindset was he will teach Igbos the lesson of their lives. And he has done precisely that. If the killings had stopped then, I would have said, okay, fine. Everything we said is history. But sadly, it didn't stop. Igbo youths, IPOB youths, Igbo nationalists.
There is actually no need to listen to us. It just weakens you. You got out of 8 years of ethnic law that, oh, you didn't vote for Buhari, you put all your egg in one basket. This is not, see, maybe because we have not started taking politics serious. Some say, oh, you don't know how to do politics. You should have given somebody some percentage. And politics is after your life, the next is politics because it actually controls your life. You should take it with all seriousness. If you know that this person has nothing to offer, don't give him half, not 1/4. Say, I don't like this person, not as an individual, not because he's from XYZ place, not because he's not competent. In 2015, Ndibu said Buhari is not competent, and they did not vote for him, and they suffered for 8 years. Yet, after 8 years now, everybody is now seeing, oh, wait a minute. Actually, these people we hated for 8 years were right, oh, because this guy just ran us from top to bottom. From dollar being 138, 142, climbed close to 1,000. This one now came. The basket now has no bottom. Igbos did not vote. Is it a crime? They said, there was a picture that actually came out last week where Professor Yemi Osibanjo and P2B were in America. What gladdened my heart, that it shows that people actually know. These two gentlemen, when you watch the comments on the pictures, Nigerians were saying, wow, we missed it here. Why did APC not give them Professor Yemi Osibanjo? It means that Nigerians, the young Nigerians, the new Nigerians who believe in a new Nigeria, actually know that Professor Yomi Osibanjo had the competence to become a president, had the empathy, had the temperament to govern. So, were that to be Osibanjo, you would have seen that the voting pattern wouldn't have it wouldn't have been the same, because there are a lot of people who would definitely not vote for Peter Obi. They would have voted for Professor Yemi Osibanjo. But when we bastardize a whole system and reduce the system to turn by turn, where there is nothing to offer because one has amassed wealth over time, be able to buy the INEC people, the people of INEC, that he can do whatever he wants. In doing that, yet they go behind and they've been stoking ethnic fire. And let me now tell us why these things are happening. These things are strategy for 2027. These things are happening as a result of 2027. So those of you who are responding without actually understanding what you're responding to, please be careful. They are gaslighting you, that you make comments, that you write something, that come 2026, 2027, it will now turn and become part of the campaign. Oh, you see, these were the things you said. How can you have said this and you want the other person to vote you? Why must, people be this evil just for selfish reasons. Do not fall prey for this, please. Do not fall prey for this. Honestly, at the end of the day, I think the point here, people that are making, that when I listen to this, is really really hot, and it breaks my heart that a lot of these messages are on there. It is nonsense. I had to. I started using TikTok newly, and the toxic nature. Sometimes you go, 12 o'clock, you're like, people are there just talking. I'm like, people not get job. Why would by 12 o'clock you already 12 o'clock in the afternoon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, people are there insulting one another. Now, Abike Dabiri has, you know, done gone ahead to do this, right? Now, see the interesting thing now that is with what Abike Dabiri is. Pay attention here, people. People have started calling Abike Dabiri out, saying there is one man called Asari Dokubo. He once said that almost the same thing against the what are you going to do? And Abike Dabiri, in fact, listen, I'm liking some of these things because these things now are being documented. Let me enlarge this. And Abike Dabiri responded. And I said, Madam, thank you very much for responding. So that these things are on record. She responded and said, because this person, right, this person in question here, went ahead to say, I think that Queen B, Auntie Abike Dabiri, your attention is needed here. But this person is also openly calling for the killing of Igbo people while displaying his military grade assault rifle. Now, what was he referring to? That's
Take your leprosy hand to write. You don't have respect for the people who bought your father. Is it every Calabar man that is a Calabar man? Do you know your roots? That you talk to me. You don't know that people own this Calabar. You are law abiding. Igbos, I don't know them. I don't know where they come from. Because I know that if not for British intervention, I would still be selling them. The way my father sold them. Now look at you people in Igbo land. Look at how you are dying woto. You are talking. You will do video to sell that Elijah has run away. You don't see me? I don't run. Hey, leave me alone. You don't see me?
okay. So now the point here is that I like the way this thing is going, right? Because every foolish person on these arms must be exposed. And Abike Dabiri 4 hours ago responded. Did it happen in the diaspora? So he's now asking this young woman that said, have you seen this video? Because everybody's now going to her page saying, okay, since it is time to expose people calling for people to be killed, have you seen this one? And Abike Dabiri said, check nitcom.gov website for more on job schedule. Let me know more cases like Amaka. We will deal with them appropriately. Auntie Beke, responded in that sarcastic manner that the young man responded. Right? So, people, what it means now is every idiot living in the diaspora, and I pity some of you, that you will be so senseless to begin to threaten another human, knowing that where you are is where law operates. Recall that Adenika's grandson is still, I don't know whether he's out or he's still in the prisons in the United Kingdom. At least if he's out, that means he has spent about 4 years. Because of such nonsense that he spewed, ethnic hatred, hatred against other people. So why would you want to jeopardize your job? If you're maybe in the health sector or where they need, you know, criminal records for you to operate, that you have to have a clean record. Some of these things can actually affect your work, make you to go out of work, that nobody will give you work. Please be guided. Hold your emotion. Do not just be emotive. Do not just be unnecessary emotion. Now, Abike Dabiri is saying that she can only deal with the ones that that happened in the diaspora. But let me remind Abike Dabiri that please, when you go to a doctor and you have ear infection, and the doctor is a doctor is a gynecologist, maybe the doctor would refer you to say, no, I am not. Yeah, doctor, go to XYZ doctor. And Abike Dabiri, if you're listening, please can you refer this case so reported to you to the appropriate authority? It will do if you retweet this tweet and add the DSS and the Nigerian police. You may have done your job, right? Now, some people are now beginning to say, Auntie, what of this one? So this one now, this guy now here says to Abike Dabri, let me push this here. So this guy now says to Abike Dabri, since Madam Abike said they are only concerned about the Nigerian bigots in the diaspora, so the guy that we heard before, they found out his picture, and he's called Kinsley, a Benin man living in Austria with TikTok handle Papa Pikins 18. You hear him inciting others against the Igbo towards the end of the video in Benin language. He said, basically, what I said before, Tapia for Ndibo, blah blah blah. Right? This has been brought to attention of Abike Dabri. And it must be placed on record and on notice that if by tomorrow she does not, with that same velocity and energy she used in dealing with Amaka, which is a welcome development, I must add, is indeed good. Welcome development. But if she does not add the same power and veracity in bringing these ones also to books, then it means that her sense of justice is skewed. It means that her sense of justice is skewed. The video that you're seeing here, I'd already played it before. I have no need for me to play it again. But one thing I can tell you, people, is that these things are orchestrated. How come there was not this level of hate before the election? How come? If you see some of the things that were said against Gbadebo, a young man that is, his rude, and you think, where is all these things coming from? So it shows that these things are political. It didn't start now. As of far back as 2015, it was there. 2019, it repeated itself. 2023 repeated itself. Now, they have started early to mobilize and to skew the minds of the people. Because if you're not paying enough attention when someone is working on your mind, you will fall victim. You fall victim in the sense that by 2026, 2027, oh, look at what they've said about you. Why would you vote them? Why would you not vote them? And that brings me to responding to one video on Twitter where the young lady was saying that the Yorubas voted P2B and they didn't vote for Tinubu. And I'm like, I don't understand. If the Yorubas had a candidate that is worth the vote, they will get the vote without apology. Obasanjo is a Yoruba man. When he was in the ballot, he was voted for in 2007. When Umar Musa Yar'Adua, may he so rest in peace, a man of peace, when he was on the ballot against even Ojuku, people say Ojuku go and rest, I beg, people vote for better person. And they voted for Yar'Adua. Voted Obasanjo twice. They didn't care where he came from. Now, Obasanjo remains the best Nigerian president alive. Are you people not seeing the pattern? How come anyone they reject show you Pepe? The Pepe where Buhari show and never do. So people, my dear people, please, this is not about ethnic. Listen, in the next election, let the North, or rather in 2031, let the North bring Emir Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi. You will see the amount of vote he will garner in the whole South. But not when you go bring Ganduje and you'll be saying, they didn't vote, they didn't vote the North. Who would open his eyes and go and vote Ganduje for president? Who open his eyes and go and open the other one, the former governor of the state, the first state in the federation, that alphabetically speaking. I don't want anybody to sue me, but you know who I'm talking about. Put him in the ballot paper. You think anybody, even those people you consider evil, everybody will run because they'll say, no, we'll not go vote that one. On a serious note, guys, these things are just sometimes, really, really upsetting to say the least. And I believe as Nigerians, we can do better than what the political class have led us to be doing now. These things are planned. These things are for a reason. Let's not fall victim of their shenanigans. Right? So, one thing, like I said, I will conclude with the following. This guy will have to. He has to. People are now saying, okay, now when can can he basically get him right? So we are waiting for Abike to get, and you're doing that. Another one, they will come and show you another one too, right? That made similar ethnic law too.
So long that we are not even challenging. So long that we are not even challenging. To say that I'm not hungry is just I'm just kidding myself. I've not been able to sleep. I've not been able to do anything. I've been awake all morning and I'm still going to work today. This is totally uncalled for. And we really need to check this. If APC wants to still remain in power in Lagos State, they need to check and clip the wings of these Igbos, the Easterners coming into our land and taking everything.
When I hear something like this, it reminds me of the some of you in England when you hear the British say, "Oh, they are coming here to take our job." You ask them which job. They're talking about the Pakistanis or the Indians that have come to take their job. The off-licensed shops they have is there. They didn't get it from government. They didn't take any loan from government. You're talking about the jobs that are taken away from you. They are the ones that found the midnight candle to study to become pharmacists, medical doctors, nurses, whatever it is. So, this is a free world of competition. If you have anything to offer, the sky is your limit. So the point here is that a lot of people are beginning to report, various stuff. Like if you check out here, you can also see that someone like Charlie Boy Charlie Boy, at some point when Bayo made those statements, actually, blasted him to say, no, 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 no. Why this? Right? And suddenly this evening, a lot of comments are now saying, why hasn't P2B done this? Why hasn't P2B done that? Why hasn't P2B? So, and I'm beginning to wonder, what it concern P2B, concern this whole mess of, you know, people made some ethnic slow. Anyone with any iota of gray matters in between the score must say, let those who made those comments face the music. Let no, this one not be say, if you're supporting or is it not your no, anyone. He who fetches and infested firewood has done nothing but to invite lizard for a feast. So if like I said, I saw someone commented before that who was that again? Yeah, one who commented, good evening, Maz. I think you are doing what she's hoping for. Click on her page, just think of it. Do anyone know her name before now? No, I disagree with you. She reacted into something that she didn't understand. She was not intentional to say something like that people will come to her page, because the consequences it may have on her is going to definitely be greater than, this is the comment I'm responding to in case you're wondering. So the consequences these action may have on her is definitely going to be greater than whatever social media clout or subscribe or like, I don't know, whatever they do on TikTok, because she may be getting. It's definite, right? Because it's not necessary. It's not necessary. I know that something triggered it, but hey, no matter what it is, again, I am of the opinion it is absolutely not necessary. And I'm just taking some of your comments before I wrap up in 2 minutes or less. Chuck Spon said, "Bam, you are spot on." Well, honestly, everyone is now a public, so I don't know what you're referring to. Um, Ejekumadu, um, Ejekumadu, black on black violence, other race and humanity are in the laboratory inventing product and launching astronauts to the space. Back. Africans are busy looking for who to buy. I won't take any position on that. Alpara said, but why can't we divide into states? They control their own. You know, it's dear. Um, Yoruba statistics. Anyway, so people, I think here, please, I beg us, please, in love. I understand that everybody is hurting. The economy is not doing right. You know, we've lost massive. I recall many years ago, about 10 years ago. I mean, yeah, about 10 years ago, roughly 10 years ago. I recall when I go to America, you have $20,000. $20,000 is less than um, less than 3 million. Less than 3 million. Then you can load a container, 40 feet container with that amount, right? And you make profit. But today, $20,000, man, you know, things are just gone south. I know we are all hot, but please, even in this stage that we are on, we can still, you know, if you feel so angry, walk away. Please, I beg you, walk away. Walking away and staying calm is a strength, actually. It's a greater strength, not weakness. On that note, I say good night to every one of us. Please join us tomorrow. We have an interesting um program tomorrow. That's a program we are collaborating with the University of Nigeria in Nsukka to bring to you. It's called the New Governance Model for Nigeria. It stands on restructuring, regionalism, and referendum. Right? Join us tomorrow as we explore this. The guest tomorrow is going to be Professor Obasigwe. Yeah, it's going to be joining us, and myself will be the co-host, and Professor Agbedo will be the host. So, no matter what, I understand things are not working right. Things are not where they ought to be, but I believe, honestly, in democratic engagement. Keep deepening the conversation. Believe in Giorgio as opposed to war. That one is consistently trying to bring diverse people opinion to keep talking to one another is not the point. It's not a sign of weakness. That things are not working doesn't mean you begin to threaten someone, you will kill and buy, and you begin to carry on and kill your own brothers and sisters in the name of any madness you think that you're not getting your way. No, we can do better than that, people. On that note, I say good night and God bless us all. I am still Martin.
Ah, la, 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 la.